Hey everyone, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about myself and give you a little bit of background on basicinfosecurity.com and kind of where that started. You kind of have to go back to when I was a kid, and this first time that I saw an actual computer in school. And I remember the teacher took us all into a room, all the kids into a room, and wanted to show us this brand new computer. And it was amazing to me. You could see things on the screen. Words, blinking cursor. You would see a program that he had opened actually was able to draw circles and squares and lines, and it was just amazing to me. Now, the screen itself was all in the color green, if you can believe that. I think if a lot of you are probably familiar with monitors back in the day where only came in one or two colors, and this monitor happened to be green. And it didn't really matter to me, though. I mean, it was really impressive. I just something struck me as this is incredible. This is something that I want to learn more about. Now, my parents actually shortly thereafter they pulled me out of school, and they actually started to homeschool me. And so I had an opportunity to really get more involved with computers because my parents purchased a new computer for home to help me with my schoolwork. And I remember the salesman saying that the computer was so powerful that we would never need anything more powerful ever. And this computer was really old. And if you can imagine how fast technology changes in today's world, technology back then changed very fast, just as fast, if not faster. And in fact, I think it was just a couple months later that I had my first experience upgrading computer hardware. So it didn't last forever. It was absolutely not everything we needed, but it really introduced me to the world of computers. It kind of got me embedded more in computers and made me realize that this is something that I wanted to do for my career. So since I was homeschooled, I had an opportunity to complete my work as soon as I could for the day. And I found myself doing that all the time because the sooner I completed my schoolwork, the sooner I was able to spend time learning and being on the computer. And I knew that was my passion, that's what I really wanted to do in my life, was to work with technology, work with computers. And I also wanted to do something that kind of lived up to my parents' expectations, what they thought I was capable of, and also not only my parents' expectations, but also expectations of my siblings, because all my siblings, my brothers anyway, were engineers. And even though I looked up to them and what they'd accomplished, I had some challenges because I was very weak in math and I really didn't like it. In fact, I hated math. I think it has something to do with the fact that if you get just one little thing wrong in math, it completely changes the outcome. And that's just something I just really have a hard time dealing with, apparently. So instead of going to school, what I ended up doing was getting into computers. I got a computer certification right out of school, right out of high school, and I ended up landing a computer technician job with a major university. And this job really solidified my career in computers and technology. So I was able to acquire more education and training over the years, even though I didn't have a degree. And I loved it. It was my dream job. I thought, this is great. This is what I wanted to do, and I'm doing it, and life is great, right? So while that was all fine and good, I think I had been working for this university for about 10 years when I had gotten married shortly before this incident happened. And I remember sitting on the couch and talking to my wife, and my wife was looking at her online bank account, newly married couple, and she said, I could just see kind of her face turn white. And I was like, well, what's wrong? What's going on? And she said, we don't have any money. And I said, what do you mean we don't have any money? Like, I have a good job. I don't understand. What do you mean? What happened? Did you spend a lot of money? Did I buy something I didn't realize? She goes, I don't know, but we're not only is our bank account zero, but it was in the hole by over like $1,000. And we were just completely dumbfounded by this. I mean, it's like, how is this possible? So it turns out someone had hacked our eBay account and our PayPal account, and they had purchased 2 laptop computers, and they were having them shipped to Texas. And we caught that in time. We figured out what had happened, and we got it stopped before it was too late. But the problem with that was, even though we got it stopped, we realized soon after that we still had bills to pay. We still had money coming out of our account. And to make matters worse, that money coming out of our account was also racking up overdraft charges, because charges were hitting our account and the bank kept assessing their fee is, like $30-$40 per charge. So we were like, well, what are we supposed to do about this? And fortunately, after a couple weeks went by and we explained everything to the bank right when this happened, we talked to PayPal and eBay right when this happened, and so we were able to get all the charges reversed, and even the overdraft charges. The bank was kind enough to credit us that money back. But if we hadn't gotten that stopped when we did, I mean, our bank account would have been, severely in the hole. I mean, it was already severely in the hole, but it would have been even more so. And what happened at that time is, it got me thinking, like, okay, so I've been working in computers now for, over 10 years. And everything that I've learned and I know didn't save us. It didn't prepare us for making sure our online accounts were secure. It didn't save us from having this issue that could have been completely devastating to us. And so I realized that I needed to spend more time understanding how to protect ourselves from hackers and what we needed to do to make sure this didn't happen again in the future. I mean, we were sitting there looking at the computer. I just remember we just felt so helpless. I mean, how could someone do this? Why did they do it to us? Why were we the target? Don't they know that, this could be a potential life changer for us? And we just felt helpless and confused. And out of that, though, that confusion made me realize that security was my passion, or what should be my passion. Security, learning how to combat hackers, learning how to stop attacks, learning how to keep yourself safe. That security was really something that not only matched my personality and what my likes were in terms of technology and computers, but also that it was something that was very beneficial and had real tangible, real world consequences in being able to protect ourselves and our family members. And so I took a couple security courses through work, and out of that, my interest in computer security just grew and grew. I decided to go actually face my fears about going to college, and I ended up going to school and getting a degree in computer security. And so I have that under my belt, and so now I have all this training on security, what I need to do to protect myself, my family, my friends, and also using it on the job at work. But the problem with using it on the job at work was that my responsibilities were pretty broad, and that they're mainly focused on they're mainly focused on fixing computers and making sure things don't break, not necessarily protecting people and educating people on what they need to do to be able to stay safe and some of the consequences of not being safe. And so I found myself in this place where everything that I knew, everything I learned, wasn't being used as well as it could be. So I decided to start this company, basicinfosecurity.com, so that way I could help educate people that aren't technical in nature to better understand what they need to do to protect themselves. And I think that out of all the training that I've had one thing that really stood out to me in trying to figure out what was the best way I could really do this, what I could really help people with this, is through education. A lot of the hacks and a lot of the things that people are vulnerable to and aren't aware of is the fact that they're not educated on some of these basic things that the hackers and the scammers do to try and take advantage of people and to put them in a situation as bad as I was in, or even worse. I mean, some companies, if they experience a hack, some smaller businesses or medium-sized businesses will go out of business pretty quickly if they don't have the right protection in place. So security is very important. It's now my passion, and I no longer think of myself as a computer nerd or computer geek. I really think of myself more as an educator and trying to bring this message to people to help others and help them understand what they need to do in order to stay safe. So hopefully, if this message strikes a chord with you and you feel that you can benefit from some additional information on security and what you need to do to stay safe, I encourage you to follow my channel. I encourage you to ask me questions. I'm here to help you. And if you have any security-related concerns, or if you encounter anything, please be sure to reach out to me, and I will do whatever I can to help you. And also, if there's any kind of a topic that you're interested in, maybe like passwords, which I know everybody loves passwords, right? Because we have so many of them. Let me know. And actually, the whole thing about passwords, yeah, they're important. I think we all understand that. But I actually have some tips that make using passwords safe really, really simple. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, please leave me a comment below, and I'll do a talk specifically on passwords and how to make passwords not only more enjoyable, but I'd say convenient. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching the whole video, and thanks for letting me share my story.